In the year 1919, Amanullah Khan became the new king of Afghanistan. Amanullah Khan was highly influenced by Europe and wanted to blindly imitate Western countries. Although he made some positive reforms during his rule, such as the development of the country's infrastructure, King Amanullah failed to respect the tribal and religious traditions of Afghanistan. He imposed compulsory military conscription and imposed heavy taxation on the Afghan people, which they had never witnessed before. King Amanullah also copied Western laws relating to family and marriage issues, which were previously handled by tribes and religious leaders and had no interference from the government. King Amanullah also forced Afghan men to wear Western suits in public instead of their traditional clothing, and he also encouraged women to remove their veils and dress like Western women. Anyone who opposed these reforms was imprisoned and tortured. These Western reforms led to tribal rebellions against King Amanullah. The Afghans revolted in order to protect their culture from the influx of Western immorality, which threatened to destroy the social fabric and culture of Afghanistan. However, instead of reversing his policies, Amanullah reacted with brutal force and crushed all rebellions. In the year 1924, Habibullah Kalakani, who was a soldier in the army of King Amanullah, left the army after he refused to participate in suppressing a tribal rebellion. Habibullah was sympathetic to the tribes and he agreed with their grievances. Despite being from a poor family and having no other source of income to support his family, Habibullah left the army as this was against his principles. After leaving the army, Habibullah worked in small low-paying jobs such as carrying water from village to village and working as a gardener. Habibullah eventually became popular among the people on the outskirts of Kabul, and he became known for his generosity as he distributed all of his earnings to the poor villagers. In 1928, a nationwide rebellion erupted against King Amanullah. Habibullah joined this rebellion. He assembled his own rebel army and began fighting the government. Many influential tribes in eastern Afghanistan also revolted against the king. These rebellions were quickly crushed by King Amanullah. However, King Amanullah did not expect someone as poor and unknown as Habibullah to rebel, and he was caught by surprise when Habibullah and his forces captured the Afghan capital of Kabul. After Habibullah took control of Kabul, King Amanullah was forced to flee to India, and Habibullah Kalakani was declared the new king of Afghanistan. No one expected a poor man like Habibullah, who was not from an influential tribe or family, to become king. Upon becoming ruler, Habibullah refused to be called king and instead chose the title of Amir. He protected the previous king's family and prevented anyone from harming them. After coming to power, Habibullah abolished all taxes and reversed all of King Amanullah's anti-Islamic policies. Despite being illiterate, Habibullah proved to be a competent ruler and surrounded himself with wise advisors and ministers such as Khalilullah Khalili, who was appointed as a government advisor. The rule of Amir Habibullah Kalakani lasted 9 months, until he eventually became a threat to foreign powers such as Britain and the Soviet Union. The British refused to recognize his government because of his hostile stance against Westernization, and the Soviets also refused to recognize his government after he sent soldiers to Bukhara in order to help Central Asian Muslims in their rebellions against the Soviet Union. On 1st November 1929, Muhammad Nadir Shah, who was a general in the previous Afghan army, removed Habibullah from power with British support. Habibullah surrendered to the forces of Nadir Shah. However, he was executed on the orders of Nadir Shah, who became the new king of Afghanistan.